Alright, welcome back to TEW 2020, the Rebirth of Dave. We are here for our 8th pay-per-view of the series so far. Attitude Adjustment. This was actually, I don't think I came up with this fucking name. I checked the 2005 database. This is a Shoot Dave pay-per-view that they actually held. They called it this. I would not choose to name it this. But this is the pay-per-view that we are on right now. If you'll notice, I'm only on My Select USA. That is because I have discovered my deal with My Select USA means that they have exclusive rights to us in America. So I couldn't put it on Wrestle World for this one because My Select USA has more coverage in the US than Wrestle World, and yeah, Wrestle World isn't really big enough for me to warrant not going with them. So before we get into the show, we of course have some news notes for the past few days in the game. The incredible Koyama, who quit WLW. He was hired in February. For those of you that don't know the story of the incredible Koyama in WLW, he was like one of the biggest prospects that they had in the beginning of the Canon C-verse. So like 2007-ish. And then in 2009, he left for Burning Hammer. He got into bad blood with the two owners at the time. Had a mediocre one with Burning Hammer. And I guess in this save, he returned to WLW only to quit. like 5 months later. So, great return. Taylor Norton, who is one of the new FCW prospects. He no-showed a show. And then Pex Jimenez, our handsome stranger for them, fired his ass. And now Pex Jimenez has bad blood with Taylor Norton. So there's that. And finally, more FCW news. This one is bizarre to me. They gave the Puerto Rican Championship to Guide from the New Wave, or One Man Army as he is now, but not who I would have given it to. Not who I would have given it to. So, there's that. And for the show, we of course have 7 segments. The open challenge I couldn't pre-book because it's an open challenge. We don't know who's going to answer. So Ernest Youngman's holding an open challenge. Bradford Peverell vs. Shady K in a pseudo #1 contenders match for the TV title. Busta Capp vs. Marshal Dillon. 3-way for the Dave World title between Chris Caulfield, Troy Tornado, and the champion Pablo Rodriguez. Java vs. King Boone. The Bible Bashers versus the Defenders for the Lords of the Ring Championships. And then finally, Tribal Warrior versus Flex Garcia. I think that is everything. After the pay-per-view, like I promised, we're going to run down the new company, Elite League of Pro Fighters, I think it is. The new Europe company, see who they hired and all that jazz. Yeah, other than that, let's just get into the show. We open the show 85. It is a kind of a half opening video package and a half promo. It's basically like these 3 men each cut a promo and we get like video clips of Danger Zone TVs kind of things. It's just a way to get the show off to a hot start and really not advance a storyline in storyline, if that makes any sense. I know it did not, but whatever. So next, while opening the show, we are going to have the open challenge. And who answers Ernest Youngman's open challenge? Who has the balls to answer Ernest Youngman's open challenge? It is one half of rich and famous Jackpot Jordan. His gimmick is High Roller. It got great. And this is going to be Jackpot Jordan's tryout match. He goes 8 whole minutes with Ernest Youngman. Ernest Youngman got a fucking 71. So I figured out why Ernest Youngman's doing so much better in. He's like, if you guys have noticed, he's kind of been like, how do I explain it? Kind of like hot and cold in match ratings. I figured out that he is just much more over in the tri-state. Maybe I could show it to you here, but yeah, Ernest Youngman is incredibly over in only. That's not popularity. In only 2 regions. And one of them is the tri-state. The other one is the southeast. Everywhere else, he's kind of, But So yeah, that's why he's doing so well because we're running in the tri-state right now. I have all my pay-per-views in the tri-state, specifically for this reason, because Ernest Youngman's going to tear the house down. But no surprise, Ernest Youngman wins. He hits the hit on him. However, he does not kill him off. He does not put in the fucking submission hold that I forgot the name of. And that's because this really shows into Ernest Youngman's character here in Dave. And Ernest Youngman only takes out people when Pablo Rodriguez tells him to. Ernest Youngman is a fucking professional. He is a professional hitman. This man will not just take out any guy that steps in his way unless they really fucking piss him off. Maybe even if they really fucking piss him off, he won't do it until told. So, there's that. We get a short, just kind of hype video between Busta Capp and Marshal Dillon. We recap the feud. Marshal Dillon beat up Busta Capp because Bradford fed him to the wolves, and then Busta Capp came back 2 weeks ago and kind of punked out Marshal Dillon. And that's how we got this match. And in the end, it goes 10-51. It is a completely even match. No one expects it to be this even. And in fact, at one point near the end of the match, Busta Capp looks like he's going to have the win until we get the return of Tennessee William, costing Busta Capp the match. Tennessee runs in with a guitar, screws Busta Capp over. Marshal Dillon hits the crackdown and gets the pinfall victory. Busta Capp gets hit with one more crackdown and one more finisher from Tennessee William before Tennessee grabs a mic and says, "I'm back, bitches. Hardcore's prepare to die," or something along that line. We then get King Boone versus Java in the match of a fuck ton of interference. Mobstar targeted Java along with Gravedigger. Acid interfered against Boone, and the match ended with a manager interference. It doesn't say that here, but manager interference. So Suzanne Brazel gets the last laugh on Java, and this kind of fucking feud, that's the only thing you can really call it, is finally over. On to the next segment. Dean Mcwade does an interview before Bradford, Peverell, and Shady K's match, and he's like, nobody really asked me or told me. Phil never told me this is a number one contenders match, and no one asked me my opinion on it, but I'm going to give it anyway. I respect both of these guys as competitors, not as human beings, and I am happy to give the winner of the match a television championship match on the very next Danger Zone TV. Big news from Dean Mcwade right there. He is going to make it official that this will be a number one contenders match. So it's no longer a pseudo number one contenders match, it's a shoot number one contenders match. And these two men, Bradford and Shady, have had 3 encounters, 2 matches against each other. And they've had 2 singles matches where Shady K won both of them. And that is not match history. Why is this so hard? And they've had 1 tag team match where Peverell teamed with Doug and Shady teamed with Caulfield. And Peverell actually picked up the victory. So, I mean, technically Shady's 2-0, but you could argue he is 2-1. Will Bradford Peverell finally get his big win? Well, unfortunately, for Shady K, he will. As we know, they don't seem to click, so I said, fuck it, I gave it to steal the show. Bradford Peverell finally gets his big win in Dave over someone actually with stature. That was the big criticism by, I think it was Shady and I guess Phil off of screen, was that Peverell just does not get wins against big names on his own, and he gets his first big win here in Dave against Shady K with a 51 rated match. And that means that on the next Danger Zone TV, we will see Bradford Peverell and Dean Mcwade. How does he have negative chemistry with no, god damn it. I fucking forgot that too. Does he have negative chemistry with fucking everybody? Toma too, he can't fight fucking Toma. I gotta fucking build up Austin Smooth to fight this guy. Like, what the fuck? Before I build to matches, I really should start checking that. So that's gonna happen, and then Dean Mcwade comes out to confront Bradford Peverell. Dean holds up the title. He offers out his hand to shake it, and Bradford begins to walk away. Dean kind of looks to the crowd. It's like typical Brad. But as he's looking away, boom! not low blow, blindsides him with the dream left hook. Dean Mcwade is knocked out cold in an instant, and Bradford Peverell picks up the TV title and holds it above his head as we fade into our next segment, which is a backstage segment. Flex and Pex doing what else but CrossFit before their match. Maybe not CrossFit. I like to imagine they've got the fucking, the stretchy bands. They're like green. I forget what they're fucking called. I use them at the gym. I don't even know what they're fucking called. I call them the stretchy bands. And whatever. They're doing the thing where they're like doing curls with these things and they're just gassing each other up as they're doing them. Pex is like, oh my god, your titties are so milkable right now. And then Phil Bear interrupts this segment to tell Flex and Pex that he knows that this whole match was just a ploy by Flex and Pex to get revenge on Tennessee William for Tribal Warrior beating Pex Jimenez, and they offered him the match because they knew Tribal Warrior wouldn't back down, and their whole plan is just to constantly interfere in the match, have it be a handicap match, and have some sort of victory to them. But Phil Bear is not going to have that happen on his watch because Pex Jimenez is banned from ringside. If Pex Jimenez shows up at all in the ringside area, or even, you know what, in the arena, if this man leaves the backstage area, he is fired. 82 rated segment. Flex Garcia's got to go out on it alone, and he loses the match. Tribal Warrior defeats Flex Garcia in 1440 with the Headhunter Special. And yeah, well, that's great. Tribal Warrior beats both members of Flex and Pex. And after the match, MC Motormouth enters the ring, and he's got like this cardboard box. It's very long, and it's actually kind of thick. And he gives it to Tribal Warrior, and he tells him, this was given to me by Doug Peak. He told me to give it to you after your win. And Tribal Warrior is about to open the box when he is jumped by Pex Jimenez. Pex Jimenez is beating him down. And eventually Tribal Warrior hits a comeback. But it's still kind of a 50-50 fight. Eventually Tribal Warrior manages to sneak out, open the box, and what's in it but a gift from Doug Peak. It is a baseball bat, not just a wooden one, a metal baseball bat, and it's got barbed wire wrapped all over it. Pex Jimenez gets hit right across the pecs. Flex gets hit right across the flex, and Tribal Warrior kind of gets to beat them down for Doug Peak since Doug Peak's arm is broken. He receives a gift from Doug Pack. Typical of me to do that. We have our Lords of the Ring championships. The defenders, Frankie, Perez, and Akima Brave versus the Long Beach crew, Aces High and Cali Slick. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I considered both men winning. It wasn't until I started booking the show did I truly decide who was going over. And I almost had the Long Beach crew take the titles here. However, Aces High is just not over. He's not over enough to take the title. If you'll look here, Aces High, he's pretty good. He's actually pretty over in the Southwest, but we never run in the Southwest, so that's kind of useless. In the regions we do run in, the Tri-State, I think it's the Mid-South and the Midwest, he is just not over, so it'd kind of be a waste of time, a bad decision for us to give him the titles, at least yet. So the defenders retain their championships. They hit the perfect parity, or I guess Frankie Perez hits the perfect parity. The defenders make Why is it so hard? Why is this so hard? I can never talk. It's not even a tongue twister. It just says defenders and defense, and I can't even say it. The defenders make defense number 1 of the Day of Lords of the Ring titles. And as I had predicted, Aces High was the weak link, struggling to keep up with everyone's performance. It got a fucking 69, so that's pretty cool. And then after the match, Troy Tornado and Pablo Rodriguez and Caulfield all make their entrance, but the rest of the defenders and Bible Bashers don't really leave. And that is because the Bible Bashers' plan is to jump Troy Tornado and Chris Caulfield before the triple threat match can start, and the defenders never left because, well, they kind of predicted that was going to happen, and this leads to a huge brawl between Frankie Perez, Akima Brave, Aces High, Cali Slick, and Knuckles. Weapons are being used. They brawl to the back, and this really frustrates Pablo. He's like, oh shit, my guys aren't going to be here. And everyone in the arena realizes, oh shit, his guys aren't going to be here for this triple threat match. So this triple threat match, I hope, is a barn burner. 65, that's good, that's good. It goes 14-41. All three men look like they all each have a moment, a near fall moment where it looks like they're going to either regain or win the championship. But for the finish, Troy Tornado looks to have the match won when Ernest Youngman, we forgot about Ernest Youngman. Most of the people in the crowd, except for the few smart marks, forgot about Ernest Youngman. Ernest Youngman runs in, hits the hit on Troy Tornado, and he takes out Tornado for the rest of the match. He goes for the same with Chris Caulfield, but Chris Caulfield hits him right across the jaw with a 2x4 and begins to choke him out with his bandana. Ernest Youngman is taken out for a moment there. Pablo Rodriguez and Chris Caulfield then get a 1 minute, essentially one-on-one match where in the end Pablo Rodriguez bests Chris Caulfield. So he kind of won the match clean, you could say. Ernest Youngman did take out Troy Tornado, but definitely Pablo Rodriguez defeated Chris Caulfield clean here. Pablo Rodriguez hit the Sinner Salvation, pins Chris Caulfield, and regains the championship. And that is how we end the Attitude Adjustment pay-per-view. Let's see what we got. 70 rated show. That was pretty good show. Make the speech. I explained this in the Extreme Rules Yes Mod video. I probably explained it a bunch of times already. I like to give tiers of performance. Ernest Youngman, I feel, had the best performance. I think Ernest Youngman undoubtedly had the best performance tonight. I think Troy Tornado had the second best performance. And who impressed me? Who impressed me? Frankie Perez was the best person in the second best, or the best match. So, you know what? I'll give Frankie this one and then Troy this one. There we go. Scene please, scene please, scene please. All right, nice. Nice. Okay. So that is not going to do it. I have not forgotten about the Europe roster. So let's wait for that to fucking happen. Jackpot Jordan's gone. This Blackbeard. What the fuck? Oh, yeah, he's on my short list. That's right. Look at this guy. Southwest 41, Peverell 16. So that's great. That's great. If I ever want him, I got to build him up too. Oh, yeah, and then I fucking forgot. Someone in the comments asked me to look at the PSW roster, so I'm going to do that after the ELPW roster. I totally forgot. Good thing I made that note, too. So, let's see how this roster is looking now. They're still bigger than Zen. Okay. So, yeah, these are the guys. Of course, I'm not of course, but I'm actually, oh, yeah, he's the fucking, oh, he opened it. So I'm not too huge into the Euro scene. I know a few guys, but really other than that, I don't know many. I know Krug the Executioner just because he looks like Deadpool, and I know this guy because he was one half of the Addams family in SNP, I think. So other than that, yeah, this is just for you guys. I like this guy. Holy shit. This is really, I'm looking through here just for you guys to see who is, if you're into the Euro scene. And that guy, Matthew Morris, is the booker. Do they have any titles yet? They have the Triple Crown, which doesn't make any sense. And then the Wrestling Spirit, which is kind of their secondary title. So that's it. They have any gender. All right. So now we gotta see what's going on in PSW. Let's take a look down there. So they've kind of grown. I think they've grown just a little bit. Let's look at the champions first. Let's look at the champions. So the PSW champion is our boy Ernest Youngman. He beat Nelson Callum in June 2020, so he just won the title. Damn, that match got an 81. Fuck. Damn. Wow, okay. The PSW National Champion is Stuntman after Saeed Ali had it to start the database, and then as I told you, he got poached by TCW. Then it was vacant for a good amount of time before Stuntman won it back. So, and then the tag champs, Acid 2 and Stuntman. So Stuntman's a dual champion right now. They beat Samoan Machine and Rhino Umaga for the title. Let's see how their like pushes are going. So it's really just, all right, sorry about the weird cut there. Remember how I constantly say only when I try to record do I get constant interruptions? Well, for that 0 seconds that it took for you to see this part, it was a 2-hour shift from what I had to do. As you might have heard, maybe I'll leave just a few dog barks in. The dog started barking, and I'm like, okay, that means somebody's here. Who's here? Oh, it's my grandparents. That's fine. They just came to drop off a few things. So there was one cut there, and then at the end, and the cut that we just had right there, well, they started barking again. And I'm like, why are they who's here now? It's my grandparents again. It turns out the second they left, they got a fucking flat tire. Only when I try to record does this shit happen. So, I gotta go help fix a flat tire. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just standing there like a goddamn deer in the headlights. It's like they don't have the decency to wait till I'm fucking done. Oh my god, that was a joke, obviously. Alright, where the fuck were we with this roster? Here's the major stars. So yeah, Ernest, this is probably why the match did so well. They literally put their two biggest names against each other for the world title. So, there we go. They got no stars. That's not good. That's not good. Well-knowns. Here's that guy that we brought in. Ash Campbell. Austin Smooth. Cowboy Buck. Logan Wolfsbane. Stuntman. Javi or Zavi Ferreira. I'm not sure. Recognizables. We got this fat ass. Damn, that was harsh. Jackpot Jordan, who we also hired. Oh, so they're in PSW now. Did they leave? Is that canon? They did leave. They left for PSW. I didn't know that. That shows you how much Cornelverse I've been playing in this game so far. Not much. Not much. Xavier Reckless, the resident jobber of Dave, Antics, Death Wish, Devil Dog, Dustin Deuce, there's no way. He's since 2007. I don't know much about PSW. So there we go. There's a rundown of the PSW roster. And before, my house explodes or something else where I have to finish recording a few hours after, I'm going to just end it here. I hope you... Let me do a real quick in case there's any huge news. That, the show was awesome. Of course it was. Giant Truman. They've bonded. Aldous Black Fair. Johnny Highspot retired. Oh, man. I like Johnny Highspot. That's upsetting. That is upsetting. She retired. I think she's a 5SSW girl, or was. For a while ago. Okay. I don't know. I guess I don't know a lot of these new renders. They all look familiar. Okay, Phoenix Forple. Dubzo, Misa, Stainless, CWA. Alright, bunch of retirements. Who cares? So yeah, that's going to do it for this episode of The Rebirth of Dave. Attitude Adjustment 2020 did well. How did that rank in our all-times? How did that rank? So we've got events. It was number 9. Number 9. Good show. It's amongst the 70s club. So yeah. Top 100 matches. None of those. Attendances. That was our best attendance. How about buy rate? No, we still got nerfed on the buy rates, but that's fine. Whatever. Day 1 did terrible for the buy rates. Wow. Alright, cool. How's our size doing? I keep trying to send it off and I keep distracting myself. So yeah, we are growing hugely now. We are growing huge. So yeah, the places we visit are the Mid-South, the Southwest, Southwest and the Tri-State. So I have to keep that in mind in case I ever want to use some of the Coastal Zone guys or the GSW guys, use them in that area where they're known. Alright, that's it. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of The Rebirth of Dave. The next episode will probably be a Yes Mod one. I've been writing up to Payback. That's why I double up on Dave. So there we go. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to see you for the next episode of either this or the S Mod.